All right, but 10 more days, and then we can enjoy our summer. Except for I'm doing a class this summer I haven't opened it up to like Saratoga Springs yet. I don't know why I need to record this. I'll pause. Or I can keep going now. If you're curious about the class I'm doing this summer, come and talk to me. Go. All right, so today is a two-way table. You can't see my little chart here very well, but it's one of us, right? Okay. A two-way table is a table. We looked at them last time to organize the data with two categorical variables. One variable runs along the column. So in this case, it's a do-I-do column, and one runs along the rows. So you use this to get totals for different categories. So in this particular example, we're looking at ones that can ride a bike, ones that can't ride a bike. I'm hoping that this is more like in first grade range or high school range. But you know, maybe you haven't learned how to ride a bike, and that's fine. My daughter refuses. She can balance like no other, but she doesn't want to pedal. Anyway, so there's two types of things that you can do with the two-way table. You can do it simply with tally, which is what we will do first, and we're going to be using our class data to do this. You can also use it to find ratios, percentages. So let's just start by filling out this table. So we need to start by figuring out how many boys are in the class. Somebody can tell me I counted 12.
One. Oh my gosh, it's like counting up this one.
Well, okay, so count is 12. Now, gentlemen, you need to choose if you are a BYU fan, if you are a University of Utah fan, or if you are another Utah school fan.
What if you're not?
Or if you're not a fan, that would be in the other. 13?
Yeah, I got 13. I got 13.
Harrison doesn't count, guys.
Apparently one of you guys.
Okay, so gentlemen, we need to have this total out of 13. You all have your preference in your head. So all in favor of BYU. Who's a BYU rooting Cougar fan? 3? Is that accurate? Okay, 3. Who are the University of Utah? Running Ute fans. I don't know. Oh, 2? Just 2? Okay. And what about another Utah school? So what other Utah schools? I only see, I need a high cut. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That only adds up to 12.
Someone didn't vote. It was you, Harrison, wasn't it?
All right, I know standing up's really obnoxious.
Yeah, you were the one.
If you are a BYU fan, stand up, please, so we can count it easier. So you're right on the tree there. University of Utah fan. Still just for 2. So that would mean that 8 are choosing another Utah school. What other Utah schools are we choosing?
We don't care.
Xavier is school for the gifted.
We're just going to pretend for that. Okay. All right, ladies. So there are, help me count, there's apparently a 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I get 13. Are we counting?
We're even?
Sure.
We're outnumbered, guys.
It's just because I like, okay, BYU, stand up. Please, like one of you. Of course. University of Utah. Okay. So that would mean 7 of us are left. Let's see if 6 people stand besides myself. Everybody stand up if you are an other fan. Okay, good. So you all are voting. So, 7, 5, 16, 11, 25. Okay, so now we're going to fill out the table with the relative frequencies, which are the percentages. Okay? We're going to put relative frequencies in fraction, decimal, and percent form, except for we're really not. Let's just put it in fraction and then percentages. So this is 3 decimal places so that we can easily use the percentage. However, when we talk about two decimal places, is it possible that there will be a rounding error and then our total will not get to 100%? That is fully possible. Okay, so what is 3 over 27? 0.11. Okay, and 4 over 27? 0.16. 148, 415. So this should be 0.26, confirm? Yeah, okay, 2 out of 27 is 0.808.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so 2 out of 27 is what? 0.07. And then the next one, 0.11, you write down that one, so this would be 0.18. Is it? Yes, when you get on the calculator. Okay, 8 out of 27 is 0.29 what? 6, so it's called 0.30. 7 out of 27 should be 0.26. It should be about 0.56. Now, if we add up these three, 0.26, 0.18, and 0.56, what do we get? 1, it should be 27 out of 27 is 100%. Okay, 13 out of 27, 0.48, and this one's 0.52. So if you're asked for a relative frequency, it wants the percentage, or the fraction, or the decimal. Alright, so let's use our tables above. How many females in our class like BYU? There's 9 tables, you know how to read it. How many like BYU? 4. What percentage is that female in our class like BYU? How many males in our class like BYU? 2, which is, wait, what percentage of the males in our class like neither? 30. Okay, so now we're going to talk probability. I'm going to pick one student out of the class randomly. What is the probability that they are female and like neither? So let's go back up to our chart. For some reason these symbols didn't come in. So what's the probability? Which one am I using? The upside down view or the, it might be on yours, so I don't see. No. Is it the upside down or is it the view? Or the blank view? Oh, well, great. So this should be the view or is it the upside down view? And it's the upside down view, good. So I am looking for the overlap or am I looking for the marriage, like either one? I'm looking for the overlap, good. So this is an and, they both have to have in common. So, sorry, I forgot. Female and neither. So female category here, neither category here is 7 or other, I guess. So 7. 7 out of what? Okay, good. What's the probability that they are male and like BYU? Again, the symbol should be what? Yes, again, U. This is the overlap. They have to be male and they like BYU. I guess no, like BYU 2 out of 27. What's the probability that they do not like BYU? That's the symbol right here, so BYU complement. Now in this case, what am I looking at? Just reading in general. I'm just looking at BYU. So these are the people that like BYU, right? 7 out of 27, which means how many people don't root for BYU? We're counting how there is 20, right? Because it's everything else. So this would be 20 out of 27. If 7 like it, or rooting for, then there's 20 in their class. What is the probability that they like BYU over our female? Is this the overlap or is this personality all together? Good. And what symbol is that? And U. Good. So they have to either like BYU, which is this group, or they have to be female, which is this group. I circled the wrong one. So that's okay. So how many is that? I've got 7 here, 3 here makes 10, 14 plus this guy, 13. Is that okay? Kind of a review from yesterday, right? We looked at the chart yesterday. Okay. All right. So consider the table below. We can find the probability of a man having pierced ears or a woman having pierced ears, etc. So we can look at the two variables. Again, this is a two-way table. Really the piercing versus gender again. Gender is a really easy way for statistics to be pulled apart. You know, females generally like different things, sometimes, not always. So in this case, it's pierced ears. So we could look at specific male, female, and piercings, not piercings. Or we could just look at the probability that someone, yes, has pierced ears, or someone, yes, is a female, or whatever. If I'm only looking at one variable, it's called a marginal distribution. So fill out the right table to find the frequencies. If they are male and yes, they have pierced ears, it would be 19 out of 178. Let's just worry about the fractions. They do not have pierced ears, 71 out of the 178. Fill out of the total. So when I say a marginal distribution, I mean like in the study, what's the probability they were male? Well, 90 out of the 178. So you're still looking at the total. You're just looking at one specific category, not breaking it up by yes or no. Females would be 84 out of 178, and for 8. Okay, so now I would like you to look at A, B, C, D, E, and F. Read those 6 options, and which one of those would be a marginal probability? Which one of those is only dealing with one variable? Is A? A is only talking about pierced ears. It's not talking about gender, right?
Yes.
So A would be considered a marginal probability. B? No? C? D? E? F. So those are the only two that would be a marginal probability. And if I wanted to find the probability that someone has pierced ears, I go to the yes column and it's the 103 out of the 178. So I'm just looking at the yes column. Now the total, just the yes column. So I want to find the probability that someone's female. I'm only looking at the female category, so it would be 88 out of 178. A joint probability is the statistical measure where the likelihood of 2 events occurring at the same time are calculated. Joint probability is the probability of Y occurring at the same time as X. So basically this means you are looking at 2 variables. So if it's not a marginal probability, it's a joint probability. So is there a way so you can remember which one's which? Like joint, we have a joint banking account, which means we're sharing it. I don't know. Joint is where 2 loans connect. That's a really good way to remember it. Okay, so which of the ones above would be a joint probability? Well, not A. B, C, E, F. So basically it's one or the other. I can see where you would say that, yeah. I don't know that it's necessarily true, but, yeah. Okay, so, basically a joint probability is going to be using intersections and unions. From yesterday. So I guess that answers this question here. there's one last thing called a conditional probability. This one is a little bit harder. The notation is a little bit different. It's the new one. We haven't done this yet today, or yet this unit. The other ones we really have. Conditional probability is the probability that one event happens given that another event has already known or has already occurred. So, if you look at this above, pretend like I'm solely only talking about the female. I know they're a female. Given that they're a female, what's the probability that they have pierced ears? Or how many females have pierced ears? And then given that it's a female, how many females are there? 88. So based on what I just said, you don't have to write it down. Based on what I just said, the probability, that conditional probability would be 84 over 88, because I'm only looking at the female category. Or, given that they don't have pierced ears, so this group, given that they don't have pierced ears, what's the probability that they are a male? Well, the male is 71 out of the total in that group, 75. So in a conditional probability, you are solely looking at one category only and using its total as your denominator. Suppose we know that event A has already happened, so that we know that we're only talking about the girls or whatever. And the probability of event B happens, given A has already happened, this is how you would write it. It's a vertical line, and looks like an I. The probability of B happening, given I'm only looking at the A group, is a conditional probability. So, using the same data as above, if we know that a randomly selected student has pierced ears, which means that is the only group I'm looking at, what is the probability that the student is male? Well, how many students have pierced ears? 19 only? 19 males, but how many students total? 103. Good. So in this case, 103 is my denominator because I'm only looking at the pierced ears. I fill in the denominator first every single time. And then out of those 103, there are 19 of them that are male, right? So 19 out of the 103 would be that conditional probability. We're restricting our interest to just the one group, just the piercing. And then we look at the males. Let's do that again. If we know that the randomly selected student is male, in this case, what category am I looking at? Just the male category. What is the probability that that student has pierced ears? So instead of looking at all of the piercings and then looking at the men, I'm looking at all of the males and then seeing how many of the males have piercings. So how many males were in this study? Okay. And out of those 90, what's the 19 and 90? It is very, very similar the way this is written. You have to be very careful to look at which group I am looking at. In this case, the one we just barely did, I'm only looking at the male category, which is why 90 is 11. And the top one, I'm only looking at the piercing category, which is why the 103 is 11. This is useful because it gives us a little bit more insight of what our data means. Going back, you don't know some of your paper, but just looking back at the example we saw last time, where students had skipped classes and their GPA, we found that there were 80 out of the 1,000 that had a low GPA that skipped classes. And there were 175 out of the 1,000 that had a low GPA and didn't skip class. And we said, well, it doesn't really make sense if there's so fewer here than there are here. Why does that work? Remember what we said? Why is the 80, why is this less than this one? You remember? Remember what we said? We said looking at this total, there's far fewer people skipping classes, right? So if we only look at how many skipped class in this right here, so given that they skipped class, what's the probability that their GPA was low? So if we know that they skipped class, what was the low GPA? 80 of them? So what percentage is that? 10%? 90, what is the probability that they have a low GPA? So check that decimal. Doesn't that make more sense that if you're not going to school, you have a higher probability of getting low grades than if you go to class? So when you look at only one category, the data can start making a little bit more sense. For example, in this one, we're going to talk about the pandemic. Given that you were a crew worker, what's the probability that you survive? Given that you're male, what's the probability that you survive? Not likely, right? Sorry, Dylan. Women and children first. You think that would happen today?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone was like certification. They're like,
Whatever they're going to become like pro users, it's like all of their life is now off the table because okay, these two questions sound so close, but they're asking two very different things. One is focusing again. So it's to find the probability of B given A, that means I'll have the number of outcomes in this intersection over A. So notice right here, this is the big part. A is on the last number, A is on the denominator. B is on the last number, B is in the denominator. So let's practice that again. Using the notation, if the probability of N stands for probability of male, and then P of P is Pierce here. So looking at the males and the Pierce group. So I want to find the probability that a male is chosen given he has pierced ears. So what will that look like? Which one is the N, which one is the P? Yep. So this one's M. Not working. This one's P. So in this particular problem, are we looking at the males or are we looking at the pierced ears group? The pierced ears group. The last number is the one we're looking at. So we are looking at, yes, they have pierced ears. Which means my denominator is what? Good. 103. Now, how many of the pierced ears group are male? Good. And that's what it will be. Just a reminder, will this ever be more than one? No. Okay, let's look at it differently. What's the probability of somebody being selected that has pierced ears given they are male? So in this one, we're looking at which category? The male group. So what would our denominator be? Oh, this one's PM, right? Denominator in this case? 90. And how many of the 90 men, so given it's a man, 15. So, like literally, if you take this and flip it on its side, it's the fraction that you want. Like, flip it upwards. First number is the numerator, the second number is the denominator. Okay, let's look at it again. Really quick, I don't know why it's not already done, that's annoying. We find the totals on these, it's kind of important. And why is there a bold line right here? I don't know. Alright. There was a bold line here. So this is all of it. It's not? Oh, that's good. There are 10,000 people in the city. Anybody have these column totals? Okay, Erin, what's the first one? Okay, second. 3,953. And last? 3,656. All right. So in this particular particular study, they're looking at students at University. I don't know if that's a school, whatever. That's a very happy school. Singing group, but that's fun. Like the singing group you would in Minnesota, and we have like the matching costumes. Those are fun. They received 10,000 course grades last semester. The 218 below breaks down these grades by which school. So in a college you have college, and then they're broken up by different schools. Like I graduated from the College of Science because I'm a major. But they have a liberal arts lab and engineering. That's where my husband graduated from, and then so on. So they have different schools inside of the big college. I didn't until probably I was going to college. Anyway. So then they break it down by the course and then different grades. So there's a lot of people that are liberal arts, not as many engineers. And then if you look at the particular grades looking just at engineers, not as many A's and B's, a lot more below B's. What do you think? And then I'm recording. I love you as well. I would like to think that I took some hard classes in college. I had to take pretty easy math. Calculus 1 and math 1210. And like I was in the 5,000s at some of my levels anyway. But there was one particular class I just struggled with and I didn't like it, and I asked him for help and he would be able to help me. And he never took the class, and I was like, can you help me get some help with doing these classes? And it was not that fun. It's on the bottom of the 33.
Yeah, I did it twice.
Thank you. Okay, so consider the 25 grades come from the engineering and physical science course, and L, the grades is lower than a B. So it might be helpful to just write that in there. This is the E category that we'll be looking at, right? This is the L category that we will be looking at. So if you label your chart, it becomes easier, maybe. All right, so I just want to find the probability that L is happening. Is this a marginal, a joint, or a conditional? This is marginal. You're just looking at what's the probability that some kid graduating in one of those three colleges that will be 3656 out of what? 10,000. Let's just say that we're not reducing a fraction. Okay, part B, is this a marginal, joint, or conditional probability? Good, this one's conditional. In this particular group, I am only looking at the E, or am I only looking at the L? Both. I'm only looking at the L group. So given they're below a B, so what's my denominator? So numerator, denominator. Given that they are an L group, what is that? 3656. What's the probability they were an engineer? 800 out of the 3656. Yes? Okay. And then, in the next group, what's the probability of, this is conditional again, right? What's the probability of them being below a B, given they're an engineer? So which one comes where? Does the E go on top or the E go on bottom? The bottom, good. Given that they're an engineer, how many engineers do you have? 200. And then probability that they have below B. Really quickly, let's just check decimals. This one's 0.5. So half of my engineers have below B. What about this one? 20%, 22? I don't know. 21. Brilliant. Does it make sense? Half of my engineers have below B, but in the category of below B's, it's not quite as high. Again, if you were to say why, a good response would be, there aren't as many engineers, right? There aren't as many engineers to have the below a B. You see the difference in those numbers. Any questions on how you would set up? The rest of today is looking at conditional probabilities. So if you didn't get it the first time, you'll still see it if your thumbs are up to one. Any questions with either of those? You can remember numerator, denominator. You'll have it.
You literally just flip the fraction over. How many more pages? One? All right, so this is the Titanic.
Yay.
Here we go. Good. Have you seen the movie? Like that came out when I was in the ninth grade. Oh, ninth grade. Like ugly cry for that movie. All right. So the RMS Titanic had 2,224 people on board ship, including the children. Yet there was a lifeboat safe for only basically half of them. That's what it's done. Various factors in that fateful day also made it so many different lifeboats were not full to capacity when they were launched. The following table does not include the crew. So, just the female male, which is why this number is different than that number, because it doesn't have the crew. So, how many males? Event M. So again, let's label M. So males. How many males survived? 338. How many females survived? Well, that event F. 316. Well, that seems about equal, doesn't it? See, gender equality, that's fair. And this is not a current events class. We will probably make fun of it a little though. How many total people survived? Event S. 654. Okay, find the following probabilities. Write as unreduced fractions and percents rounded to the nearest whole percent. So 2 answers here. Part C, is this a conditional or is this a marginal? Good, marginal. I'm only looking at the what? The male. So, what's the probability that the person on the boat was a man? So, hold on, how many males are there? We're just looking at males, not the 338, the 1690. Good, easy mistake. So, 1690 out of the total. Okay, what's the next one asking? Is it a marginal or a conditional? You need to remember that the conditional is a condition on it, right? Anytime there's a line, it would be a condition. Anytime there's a line, the denominator is not going to be the total. So, part D, I'm only looking at how many people survived. So, if I just pull this person, what's the probability to survive? I'm looking at like the records or something. There are 654 survivors out of how many people were on the ship? It's crazy how many fewer people survived than we had the boat capacity for. It could have been about 400 more. No, yeah, no. But let's go back really quick and change this to a percent. So what percentage of the people on the ship were male? And then what percentage of the ship survived? 30? Yeah. Done. All right, part E. This is our first conditional probability. So, what's the denominator? What is this asking? Given that it's a what? Given that it's a, which one? Which one's the given? Given that it's a man, so what's my denominator? Given that it's a man, what's the probability that they survive? So we're looking only at the males. What's the probability for survival? About 20%. of the men on board survived. Okay, part S, conditional or marginal? Marginal. So this is just what's the probability that any given person is a female. So what do you do? Looking at the female column, how many females are there? Ooh, careful, we're looking at all females. Good. 425 out of the, say it again. Yeah, you're looking at just females. Not specifically survived loss, just females. Which would make sense, right? Because the males and the females should add up to be 100. Nope. Okay, part G. On your own, see if you can figure this out. It's tricky. It's easy to get things twisted around in your head. So you have to think to yourself, which column or which row am I looking at? And then out of that row or out of that column, then I want to look at the survivors, or other way around. As you get closer to your senior year, you'll have the opportunity to do the AP Stats class, which the number of math in AP Stats is super hard, and a lot of it is analyzing data and figuring out different things. Okay, are we looking only at the survivors or only at the females? So the denominator is what? Given is the female. So how many females are there? Given that it's a female, 425, how many of the females survive? Raise your hand if you got it. Good, 74? Yep. So compare those two. 74% of the females survive, 31% of the males survive. Last one. Given that it's a survivor, so how many survivors do I have? Find the probability that they were female. Which we said at the very beginning that these were about even, right? So half of the survivors were female. So if you're looking only at the female category, the ratio of females that survived to the total on the ship was larger. Statistics are interesting. You can swing things your way if you know how to write the right numbers and ask the right questions. So, anyway, last one. Historically, when populations are in danger, societies protect women. Does the Titanic data support this priority? Explain why or not.
Yes, because there were
Leslie?
So I would say yes, because only 31% of the males survive, and 74% of the females.
actually like the male.
This one's right? Oh, is it running?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's even, yeah. Have you seen the Titanic movie? Raise your hand if you've seen it. So the scene, at the very end, where you're watching everybody die, right? It's like an hour watching people die. But where, the music's playing, and then, that old couple, cuddle in their bed and hold hands, you know that part, true story that happened. He was one, I was reading about it, I don't know. He was one of the important members of the crew. I'm not sure who he was. I don't think he was the captain, but he was one of the higher members of the crew, and he wanted to save his wife. His wife didn't want to go, and so they decided to go. So yeah, 20% of the males survived, while 74% of females. Because there are significantly less females than there are men. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's still over 1,000 men,
Over 1,000 men dying. Okay, y'all ready to be done? Yeah. Don't sound too excited. Yeah, we can keep talking. Thanks for watching. Okay, don't forget, really quick, we do not review next time. If we review, it'll be a 5-minute review, and then I'm putting you into groups. So thank you for being here today. Come to class on Friday.